The IOio antenna is a lightweight dual-band VHF-VHF portable directional antenna designed specifically for working low Earth orbit FM satellites with a handheld transceiver. Designed by Spanish radio amateurs EA4CYQ and EB4DKA, it has become a popular homebrew alternative to commercial satellite antennas because it is incredibly cheap to build and easy to pack flat for portable operations. If you look closely at the schematic, the antenna relies on cubical cord principles using a driven square loop and a single linear reflector for each band. The name IOio isn't an acronym, it is a visual representation of the antenna's elements as they sit on the boom. Capital I and O, the large VHF linear reflector I, and the large VHF square loop radiator O. Small letter I and O, the smaller UHF linear reflector small I and the smaller UHF square loop radiator small o. The antenna is actually an evolution of their earlier single band 70 cm design called the Canary Jail Umbrella, named because the original prototype was built using a plastic tube taken from a canary cage and metal ribs salvaged from a broken umbrella. Why choose the IOio? For LEO satellite tracking, the standard choice is often a commercial arrow antenna or a homebrew tape measure Yagi. However, the IOio offers a distinct mechanical advantage. It is entirely two-dimensional. Because a standard dual-band arrow antenna uses crossed Yagis, elements oriented 90 degrees apart, it is bulky and takes several minutes to assemble in the field. The IOio's loop and straight reflectors all lay flat on a single plane. You can easily slide it behind a car seat, lay it flat in a trunk, or pack it in a suitable case without taking it apart. Here is how it stacks up against a traditional crossed Yagi design. Element design of IOio antenna is square loops and straight reflectors, while it is linear dipoles for typical crossed Yagi. Physical profile two-dimensional, lays flat in case of IOio antenna, while typical crossed Yagi has three-dimensional elements at 90 degrees angles. UHF gain equivalent to a 4-element Yagi in case of IOio antenna, equivalent to a 7-element Yagi for typical crossed Yagi. Portability excellent, ready to use instantly in case of IOio antenna, while it is good for typical crossed Yagi, requires breakdown to pack flat. While it gives up a little bit of gain compared to a longer 7-element UHF Yagi, it still provides a generous beam width and plenty of signal to comfortably pull the modulation out of the noise on passes from birds like SO50 or the ISS.